Good Thursday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Thursday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we are going to go on and talk about tonight. Some stuff that we're going to go on and talk about tonight. And for the most part, a lot of the same stuff, but there is some more stuff like the drought that we're going to go on and talk about. What is on tap? Well, we will be talking about warm to unseasonably warm temperatures that will continue. Also, mostly dry conditions will prevail through tomorrow and kind of end as we go into tomorrow, going into Saturday as well. So, really through tonight. Increasing chances for scattered showers and thunderstorms develop Friday through Saturday, which is tomorrow through Saturday. And then also, a cold front approaches late Sunday or Sunday night. So that's the main thing that we are looking at right now in terms of our what is on tap screen for tonight. Here's the updated one right here. If you want to go see that. But yeah, mostly dry conditions. They are ending, and we will talk about all of that as we go into tonight. If you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Right now, we have around a good 3 people in here and 3 likes. So it seems like everybody has hit the like button so far. But still, if you have not yet and YouTube is just glitching out, go on and hit the like button. Also, hit the subscribe button. We're at 726, trying to get to that main goal of 800. Share with your friends, your family members, and your acquaintances because it is free. You will not have to pay a single dime to subscribe, to hit the share button, or just to hit the like button. All of that's free. Let's see what's going on in terms of our rainfall. Well, right now, we are dry right now. No rainfall going on throughout the state. We are nice and dry. As we scroll our way out, see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., we do have some rainfall going on and some snowfall with some severe weather going on as well. You see we have rainfall going on down here in Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Texas, also getting in on some rainfall. We also do have some severe weather in Indiana, even some severe weather with a tornado watch going on in Illinois, going on inside of Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, and Michigan having some rainfall as well. Snowfall going on in northern Minnesota as well as northern Wisconsin. Rainfall and snowfall also going on over here in the west, that's from Montana down through into Utah, Colorado, the Four Corners area. And then as we continue our way down even into Washington State, they have some rainfall over there as well. So what's going on in terms of cloud cover? Well, cloud cover right now actually seems to be more on the clear side. We have no cloud cover going on throughout the state right now as we speak, except for maybe like a couple of spots here and there, but mostly clear. As we go on and look at that cloud cover for the future, you can see already, like I was saying, mostly clear conditions. As we go throughout tonight, though, that will definitely try to change, especially up there inside the upstate here around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. We're continuing to see some cloud cover activity move its way over into parts of the state by 1 p.m. or so on Friday. So cloud cover making its way through. Now as we go even further into the future, so back to around 2 p.m. on Friday, look at how that cloud cover is starting to develop a lot more, going throughout the upstate, going throughout the Midlands, the Low Country, the Grand Strand areas as well. And it will continue to go through even into Friday night. Saturday morning comes along, like early morning, like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. The western half of the state covered up with clouds. The eastern half of the state not covered up at all, I should say. And if we continue all the way into like later Saturday, going into Saturday late morning into the early afternoon, cloud cover really starts to get going for sure as we go into Saturday. So looking like the more that we get into Saturday, the more cloud cover we're going to receive. And if we look at those current conditions in terms of temperatures, right now we have around 73 in Columbia, 70 Lugoff, and 70 in Sumter, Orangeburg, 72 Aiken, and 66 in Somerville, 66 in Charleston, and 67 in both Beaufort and Hilton Head Island, 66 in Georgetown, and 65 Murrells Inlet, Myrtle Beach, Conway, 64 North Myrtle Beach, 68 Florence, 71 in Hartsville, as well as Rock Hill, 73 Union, and 71 in Greenville, 72 Clemson, Anderson, Spartanburg, and Gaffney. Now, for your air quality, we are for the most part in the good category, but there are some spots that are inside the moderate category on the air quality index. And it's mainly in portions like Spartanburg, Greenwood's included, Augusta is included in there as well. And so that also goes on for other areas like Edgefield. Saluda is included in there, going on into Gaffney, Union, Lawrence. All of these areas are in this moderate area. So it's not bad. It is still something that if you are out tonight, maybe you just need to keep an eye on, but you shouldn't have to restrict too much time outside for this. Low temperatures for tonight, you have around a good 59 in Greenville, 59 Spartanburg, as well as 60 in Rock Hill, 60 Winsboro, as well as 61 in Camden, 62 in Columbia and Sumter, as well as 62 in Florence, 60 in Kingstree, and 62 in Orangeburg, 61 in Aiken, Walterboro, 66 in Hilton Head Island, and 61 in Georgetown, Moncks Corner, 64 Charleston, and 62 in Myrtle Beach. High temperatures for tomorrow, 81 in Greenville, as well as 82 Spartanburg and Rock Hill, 82 Anderson and Lawrence, as well as 84 in Columbia, 83 in Camden, and 82 in Sumter, 82 also inside of Orangeburg, and 83 in Aiken, 80 in Walterboro, and even 81 in Moncks Corner, 77 in Charleston, and 77 in Georgetown, 80 in Kingstree, and 73 in Myrtle Beach, 77 in Hilton Head Island. Now for rainfall. Rainfall is definitely going to be a bit of a concern as we continue throughout the next 24 hours. You can definitely see a 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch going on for the majority of the southern half and the eastern half of the state. Columbia is included, Aiken is included, Barnwell, Walterboro, Hilton Head Island, Sumter, Camden. I mean, these are just a couple of locations that are included in this. And then some areas may even get a 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch, like Orangeburg. And somebody could potentially even reach a quarter of an inch to a half an inch. So rainfall throughout the next 24 hours is definitely looking a lot more probable than it has been throughout pretty much the majority of this week. And so this will go on, especially and increase as we get into this weekend, and that rain chance also increases. Now, will this be drought busting? Probably not. Again, this rainfall that we're seeing here is beneficial, and definitely we want to see it, but if we really want to try and knock down this drought, we have to have more rainfall than this to try and get this drought out. Now for the crazy score. If you have no idea what the crazy score is, it is a score that we see how crazy the weather is throughout the entire state of South Carolina, or active the weather is inside of the state of South Carolina. And for right now, we are at a 7. Why? Well, it's calm. I mean, that pretty much wraps it up. Calm. Winds are going to be calm. No significant hazards. Mostly rain-free night. And for the most part, that's about it. Nothing else for us to really talk about for tonight. So that is great for us to see, all the way down for us at a 7. Thunderstorms are not expected as well for tonight. Tomorrow, though. Tomorrow, if some rainfall does get going, the ingredients for thunderstorms are in place. You can see the light green area from the Storm Prediction Center that goes throughout the entire upstate areas, the Midlands, even parts of the Low Country, even into the Western PD area. Thunderstorm activity is definitely going to potentially be an issue as we go into tomorrow. Now, again, this is all just ingredients. And then even as we go into Saturday, thunderstorms are also possible from the upstate, even into areas of like the western, northern Midlands as well. Fire weather is not expected, so you don't have to worry about that. Excessive rainfall, we're good there. So let's go in and look at the models. We're going to start off here at the 9 o'clock p.m. mark. Make sure that you are paying attention to this, because if you are not paying attention to the time, you may get lost and you may be like, okay, hold on, where are we at? So make sure that you are paying attention to it. Starting off here at 9 o'clock p.m., we go in and push this forward. And again, mostly rain-free as we continue throughout into tomorrow morning. I mean, I see like little isolated spots right here and there, but I mean, if that does even occur, and if it even does reach the ground, I doubt that it's really even going to bring any sort of accumulation with it, meaning that we're not going to see any sort of drought relief, any sort of beneficial rainfall. It would just be like an annoying type of rainfall, or like an annoying type of drizzle that lasts for like 5 minutes or something like that. It would not be much, so that's why I say usually a rain-free night going into tomorrow morning as well. Now, as we get into tomorrow late morning, going into tomorrow afternoon, we're starting to see some more showers and downpours push their way in from the coastal areas into the low country, into the southern Midlands, even into the central Midlands as well by the time you get to around 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 o'clock p.m. Look at this shower activity getting going a little bit more. Now more on the isolated to widely scattered parts from the low country over into the PD areas, over into the Midlands as well. Now, as we go on and look at the 18Z, we continue our way forward, and you definitely can see some rainfall moving its way through, all the way through around 3, 4, 5 o'clock p.m. Again, it's just all over the place. Nothing too active, nothing too crazy. It's more just like isolated to scattered showers and storms all over the place tomorrow, even as we go into around 10 p.m., 11 p.m. to 12 o'clock in the morning on Saturday even as well. We actually start to get a bit drier by the time we get into Saturday. Now, as we continue through Saturday, here's Saturday, 7 o'clock in the morning. Look at this rainfall that we have here. We have some heavy rainfall, maybe try to get itself going by the time we get into around 7, 8, 9 a.m. Now we're seeing heavy rainfall in the upstate potentially as well Saturday morning. So that's something definitely to watch for. Even as you go into Saturday by 1 o'clock p.m., even going into around 2 o'clock p.m. You know, we have rainfall now kind of continuing to go in the upstate and maybe even a little bit inside of the Grand Strand areas as well. So even though, in my opinion, even though this will definitely be beneficial rainfall and, you know, maybe even a thunderstorm here or there with maybe even some heavy rainfall with some of these cells up here, it probably won't be enough to go in and really knock down this drought. Unless, you know, one storm just completely pops off and, you know, we get beneficial, very heavy rainfall. Right now, I'm not really seeing too much of any sort of relief. Even if we go on and look at the rainfall rates for the next 3 days. Let's go on and check that out right now. So as we just go on throughout the next 3 days in terms of precipitation, again, it shows maybe close to a half an inch to an inch for some spots, potentially. But does it really show anything in like the Midland areas? Does it really show anything in the low country? Does it really show anything in the Grand Strand and the PD areas? Not really. The only area where it's showing maybe some good relief is up there in the very far upstate as we go throughout the next 3 days or so. Everybody else, especially in the central Midlands, to where some areas may only get 1/10 of an inch to 1/10 of an inch over the next 3 days. You really have a long way to go there. Really have a long way to go. Now, what about for our long-term future? So we're talking about the long-term models, the models that kind of just dictate and kind of just show what's going on for the future, not really to be taken too literally in terms of what's exactly going to happen, because obviously these long-term models aren't meant for that. But if we start off where we just ended off, this is Saturday 2 p.m. and you definitely can see activity going on throughout the state. This is what we are expecting. Even as you go into around 5, 8 o'clock p.m. on Saturday, going into around 11 o'clock p.m. on Saturday, it still shows some active conditions. And even through Sunday as well, we definitely have a rainy day on Sunday. So a rainy weekend definitely is in store as we continue and go throughout this weekend. Now, what about Monday going into Tuesday? Well, Tuesday, I do see maybe a little threat for some coastal rainfall here and there, but I'm not seeing anything too interesting or too active for me to really be like, okay, well, we have to really watch for this. And then the rest of the week just seems dry. After this weekend, Monday through Friday, even through Saturday, maybe even next week Sunday, is going to be dry for the majority of us, which is not going to help out that drought risk at all, and kind of makes sense because when we looked at the month of April forecast for yesterday, the averages for precipitation was below average. That's clearly showing right now. That's definitely clearly showing right now, so I'm honestly not too shocked by that now as we get into this first full week going into next week and even the week after that as well, because that's the 12th. Yeah, so that's Sunday the week after. We're still not seeing too much of anything in terms of rainfall. Now, what about for even further, than that. This goes into not next week, but the week after. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, still staying dry until we get into the end parts of that week, going into Thursday. So a dry period is definitely making its way through the state, but rainfall will be coming for some areas, but it's gonna be a while potentially before we really get that big dose system that we need. And this weekend, again, we could see some beneficial rainfall, especially up there inside the upstate from a half an inch to an inch. But what about for everybody else? Not really anything. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say in terms of the precipitation for the next 300 to 400 hours or so. If we go on and look at the temperatures as well, one thing that I do want to look at is as we go into this weekend, the timing for that cold front does seem to be around Sunday afternoon now. Now it's looking like Sunday late morning, early afternoon, maybe going into the evening a little bit. That's just the timing that I see right now. Now that pushes through in even on Monday. Look at Monday's temperatures. We're getting 10 degrees below average, 5 to 10 degrees below average. We go through Tuesday. We're now getting near just average at this point. Going into Wednesday, we're now 10 to 15 degrees, continuing 20 degrees below average. Going into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even as well. Friday, we start to warm up a little bit, so we get more to just being near normal. And then Saturday, Sunday comes along, and we're starting to see some more warmer temperatures coming in as we go into the week after next week. So kind of like a cooler week next week and more of a warmer week the week after. And we talked about that last night. We said that was going to happen last night, to where next week's going to be kind of cool. The week after is going to be warm. Now, if we go on and look at our temperatures for actual apparent temperatures, right now it looks like around Friday, 5 a.m., where we're going to start this off at, going into the daytime. We're going to continue to be in the 80s tomorrow. Going into Saturday, Sunday, still 80s. Now, Sunday, everybody won't reach the 80s. Seems like more of like a low country, more Grand Strand, more PD type, maybe even Southern Midland type event. But as we continue into Monday, those temperatures really start to drop, going down to the 70s and 60s. And Tuesday, that's really when we'll feel it. Everybody just trying to get high temperatures, just trying to reach even the 70s. I mean, we're reaching like 65, 66, 67, 68. But we're not seeing anything else too far past that. We on the Tuesday night, what do you see? You see some in the upstate on the brink of freezing temperatures as we go into next week. So that's something to watch for if you're right there along that border, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, up there in the far upstate, even parts potentially near like Rock Hill or so, somewhere near there. We could be talking about freezing temperatures near that area, but everybody else from like the Midlands to the Low Country, Grand Strand, PD area should not have to worry about freezing temperatures. We continue through Thursday. Friday, continuing to try to see those freezing temperatures very far up there. But high temperatures are trying to get back up into the 70s. Look at Friday. We're up into the 70s, maybe even the high 70s as we get into Friday of next week. Saturday, getting up into the 80s, maybe for some. Sunday, still maybe some widespread 80s as we go into the week after next week. And just look at these temperatures as we get into the week after next week. Look at this, 86, 88. I mean, I see 90. There's a 90 right there. Now, I know 312 hours out, that's probably going to change. But we could be talking about our first 90 of the season as we go into maybe mid-April. So that's something to look for. Something to look for. Something to definitely look for. Now, if we want a more like an ensemble-ish, more of a mean type model, that's definitely the ensembles. The ensembles put all of the members together and makes an average. And so what does the mean show? Well, right now, looking like it's going to try and warm up as we get into the week after next week. That's what we were looking at, showing some 80s. So that's a good sign right there if you were trying to get those 80s, maybe high 80s, somewhere around there. The fact that the mean is in the 80s, that's a good sign right there. And so that continues through all the way through into Friday of April the 17th. And then going into Saturday. So I know that's a long ways away. That's 384 hours out, but just something to definitely look at and something to definitely say, well, maybe time to go on and start getting the summer activities, summer clothing, summer plants, whatever you have. Maybe that time to start thinking about when you're going to use it, and you may even use it going into the middle parts of April. So that's pretty much all I have to say in terms of the long-term future. Definitely make sure that you keep all of that stuff in mind, and we're going to go on and talk about the drought monitor. So, if you have no idea what the drought monitor is, it is a monitor that's made that shows us what the drought is looking like throughout the entire U.S., the U.S. drought monitor. And every week on Thursday, we come together and we check and we see what is going on with the drought. We see if we can predict what the drought monitor says. And there's 4 options. It's in the chat right now. There's 4 options. Option number 1, the drought has expanded, which right now 80% thinks that that is the case. Option number 2, the drought has shrunk or stayed the same. 20% says that that is the case. And then the drought is gone. Abnormally dry stays, 0%. And then the drought and the abnormally dry is gone. That also has 0%. So right now, seems like that most people believe that the drought has expanded. And honestly, I have not made my prediction yet. I'm making it actually as we speak. Because it doesn't take me that long at all, really, to just go on and make my prediction. All I gotta do is go on and look at the precipitation map, and honestly, probably gonna have to go with the majority. I mean, just look at how much rainfall we've had over the past 7 days. I mean, this is barely anything at all. The key down there shows maybe somebody getting close to like a half an inch, but it's only a very isolated area over here in the blue. So yeah, I mean, areas still who have not gotten rainfall. I'm kind of concerned about this area down here in the low country because they did not see a single drop of rain. And if it was, it didn't accumulate at all. So no accumulation down there. I'm kind of concerned to see what that one looks like. Also in the upstate, I mean, that area up there, that very far area that was up there, the red area, does show some rainfall with it, but I'm not too sure that that's really going to sustain itself. So let's go on and get the drum roll real quick and get this started, so we can go on and check and see real quick what is going on in terms of the drought monitor. So again, my prediction is I do believe that the drought monitor has expanded. I do not believe that it has stayed the same, nor do I think that it shrunk. So let's go on and check it out. Oh, is my thing muted? It is muted. Whoops, let me do this. And yeah, that's clearly an expansion. Clearly an expansion. So we're going to go on real quick and give the 80%, including me, who got this correct, a round of applause for going on and getting it correct. Even though, yes, we're not applauding the drought. Make sure that that's clear so we don't have any confusion. We're not applauding for the drought to go on. We are just simply giving props to the people who got the prediction correct. So let's go in and break this down and see what's going on here. So seems like we still have the D3, the extreme drought, going on right now throughout parts of Union County, Spartanburg, Greenville, Lawrence, Abbeville, Anderson, going on in southern Oconee counties, going into Pickens as well. And so also down here inside the low country, which didn't really expand much, which honestly I'm a bit more shocked because I definitely thought that the low country one, the red area down here in the low country, would definitely expand a little bit more. But honestly, it stayed more of the same. The one that really expanded was up here in the upstate. The upstate was the area that really expanded, and also that yellow area that was inside like the Columbia area has now become a D1, a moderate drought, meaning that the city of Columbia, which was under a D0, is now in a drought now. So a lot of expansion happening. I'm also seeing some more expansion going on in Horry counties as well, over here near Myrtle Beach, near Conway. I see some expansion of the D3 over into Cherokee County's more into Chester and York counties as well. So everybody except for these 4 lucky counties down here, for the abnormally dry Orangeburg counties, northern Bamberg counties, almost the entire county of Barnwell, most of Aiken, and then the very southern tip of Lexington County is still in the abnormally dry, meaning that you're not in a drought yet, but you are getting pretty close. So you do need the rainfall as well, but not as badly as others. The area that need the rainfall the most, obviously, is the areas in the red. So let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, Miles Lewis says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. I pray that everyone had a great day. Well, thank you so much for that. Today, we had a beautiful day in Georgetown. Well, I do appreciate the weather report from you. Mr. Chris says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Got you around 84 degrees here at Moncks Corner, and currently, right now, it's 68. Well, at my house right now, it is currently around a good 65. The high temperature for today was 81. Mr. Chris also says, please remember to go and hit the like button and the subscribe button. Also share with everyone that you know. It's free and it helps the channel grow. Absolutely. Right now we have around a good 11 people that have tuned in tonight, and we only have 8 likes. So if you're part of the group that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. It's free, and you and them can both share it out to as many people as you want. Doesn't matter. There's no limit, and it's free. Mount Lewis says, Georgetown's high today was 76. Currently it's 65. Thank you for that weather report. Mr. Chris says, started getting really cloudy around 6:30 p.m. tonight, and the wind picked up as well. And then continue our way down. Mount Lewis says, not cloudy today in Georgetown. It wasn't really that cloudy where I was today. It was kind of just more of like a hit or miss cloudy day today. Like, there was clouds like in the sky, but for the most part, it was mostly clear blue skies for the majority of the day. Mount Lewis says, rain will be welcomed in Georgetown. And then Ms. Chris says, same here in Moncks Corner. This rain will be very welcome here in Moncks Corner. We had brush fire next to my place this afternoon. Yeah, rainfall definitely is needed. And with this cold front coming through, if this cold front does not provide a lot of rainfall, it's going to be another dry front, which means more fire conditions are definitely possible this weekend. Trail says, greetings, everyone. Greetings to you. Ms. Chris says, this wind feels amazing off the lake here. And then Mr. Michael said, Florida's in a drought condition also. Also, do you think come hurricane season, a tropical system dropping a certain amount of rainfall, not a strong hurricane, would be beneficial for the South Carolina drought? Absolutely. You have any sort of tropical system that comes through, that easily goes on and knocks down that drought a lot. And because they move so slow and they drop a lot of rainfall. Now, if you have one of, like a more smaller hurricane that kind of is more, maybe a bit more faster moving, or doesn't really last that long, doesn't really have too much in terms of the heavy rainfall, hurricanes are all different from each other, rather it be their size or how fast they move or the direction. All of that takes into account of how will that affect the people getting the rainfall. And so I do think by hurricane season, we may have a storm that may try to move through, that may try to knock down this drought. So that's just my prediction on it. Obviously, we still have a long way to go from hurricane season. And, once we get there, we'll get there and we'll do the whole hurricane forecast from the National Weather Service and from other areas as well. Mount Lewis says, wow, dry and cold next week. Seems like it, except for when we get maybe later into the week. We may get a little bit warmer. Mr. Chris says, as long as it's not freezing, I'm okay with it. Only really if you're up there in the very far upstate, like along that border, you shouldn't have any freezing temperatures, though. For now, temperatures always can change around here and there, so we're going to keep an eye on it. But for right now, no. Mount Lewis says, here we go again with our seesaw weather. Absolutely. And that's all that I can see here. So if you want to go in and put something inside the chat, you still can. I will come back to it. But let's go on and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, 4 locations outside of South Carolina? What am I talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these 4 areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly. And because they tune in almost nightly, we go on and give them their forecast for them. And just, as a thank you for their support, even though South Carolina is not their main location. So we're going to start off with San Antonio first. with low temperatures tonight at around a good 71. High temperatures for tomorrow at 89, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at around a good 71. So low temperatures kind of staying the same. It's going to be a bit breezy tomorrow and tomorrow night, but no precipitation is expected until tomorrow night, where there is a chance of thunderstorms. There is a chance of thunderstorms as you go into tomorrow night. So make sure that you are aware of that. Also, in terms of your severe weather, excessive rainfall, right now, you're not really looking too bad as no severe weather is expected for you. In terms of excessive rainfall, right now, I think you do have a little risk. Let me double check real quick, but you should have a risk for some excessive rainfall, yes, on Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday, isolated flash flooding is possible for you. So make sure that you are aware of that, and make sure that if you have to evacuate, get to higher ground, anything like that, because you live in a flood-prone area, make sure that you are aware. But it's the lowest of the low, the 5%, but we take every situation, every event, every severe weather or excessive rainfall event seriously. So it doesn't matter if it's a 5% or 0.1%. We still take it seriously over here. Now, what's going on in terms of your future? Well, in terms of your temperatures will continue to drop as you go into this weekend. You're going to have highs only in the 60s as you go into this weekend. Monday, 69. Tuesday, you'll start to rise back up into the 70s. Tuesday, Wednesday, 79. Thursday, 79. So you will warm back up, but for right now, you're on a cool down. Then for Raleigh, North Carolina, you have low temperatures tonight at 61, high temperatures for tomorrow at 82, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 62. Precipitation not expected at this time. In fact, you're not going to receive any precipitation probably until around Sunday, where you have a 100% chance of rainfall then. Now, in terms of your severe weather, excessive rainfall for you seems like that you are good, nothing there, and severe weather, nothing there. For your future, temperature-wise, going to continue to kind of be in the 80s until around possibly Sunday, 79, Monday, 67, Tuesday, 67, Wednesday, 61. So your temperatures are going to be kind of on a decline as you get onto like Saturday onward. But you will get back up into the 70s as you go into the end of next week, like Thursday, Friday. Then for Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at 43. High temperatures tomorrow, which I don't know why that didn't change. High temperatures tomorrow at around 78, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 61. Patchy drizzle tonight. There will be some patchy fog as well tonight, going even into potentially tomorrow, where widespread dense fog is expected tomorrow. So make sure if you're out tomorrow morning or tonight, make sure that you are aware, have your low beams on, don't have high beams. Please do not turn on your high beams when fog is occurring. It should only be low beams, and if you have fog lights, turn those on as well. And then there also is a slight chance of showers by the time you get into tomorrow evening as well. No precipitation, though, tomorrow during the day. Now, for your severe weather, excessive rainfall for you is not expected at this time. And then in terms of severe weather, you have nothing there either. Now, what about for your future? Well, right now it's looking like in terms of your high temperatures, temperatures just in general, you're going to kind of be on a warm up through Saturday, but then as you get into Sunday onward, going to just continue to cool down. You'll have lows getting back down to below freezing. Tuesday night, low of 32. So you may be talking about more below freezing temperatures for you, or at freezing temperatures for you as you go into next week. Thursday is when things may start to go back up, but it's only around 62 degrees as your high. Will also be a pretty active weekend. For Saturday, 40% chance of rainfall, Sunday, and 100%. So it's going to be active for you. And then finally, for Duncan, Oklahoma, you have low temperatures tonight at 65, high temperatures for tomorrow at 81, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 51. Precipitation, there is a chance of sprinkles tonight. There definitely is a chance of sprinkles tonight. It's there, but it's nothing like crazy in terms of like heavy rainfall here and there, maybe a shower or a thunderstorm. And then showers are likely tomorrow, and then heavy rain is expected tomorrow as well. It's going to be a bit breezy tomorrow and tomorrow night. Gusts as high as 28, maybe even 30 miles per hour is possible as you go into tomorrow. And then for your severe weather, for your excessive rainfall, you do have a risk for severe weather tomorrow. and it's a slight risk of severe weather. What does that mean? Well, scattered severe weather or scattered severe storms are expected tomorrow as we go into Friday, April the 3rd, 2026. What are the risks? Well, there's a 2% risk of tornadoes, meaning that an isolated tornado or two is possible, but it's not expected to be anything strong or anything, but you never can rule anything out. Also, there is a risk of scattered damaging wind gusts and scattered damaging hailstones of up to an inch in diameter with any storm that occurs. So make sure that you are aware of that. And after that, you're good. No severe weather for you after that. Excessive rainfall for you. You may have some flash flooding tomorrow as well. I mean, a scattered risk of flash flooding tomorrow, meaning, roads could be piled up with rainfall. Also, you may see ditches covered up with rainfall, backyards may be flooded, and anything that's flood prone could potentially be flooded with any storm that comes through. It's slow moving, heavy rainfall, anything like that. Now for your future, it looks like that you will continue to warm up as you go into this weekend, though kind of the opposite. Saturday, your high was only like the high 60s, but then Sunday, going into Monday, it's up in the 70s. Then you go into Wednesday, 75. So your cool down isn't going to be as prolific as other areas like for Raleigh or for Philadelphia, but it will kind of happen kind of quick. And that's all that I can see here for the 4 areas. So let's see what's going on throughout the entire U.S. weather news-wise. Well, right now, a late season winter storm continues to bring heavy snow, significant sleet, and disruptive icing to the upper Midwest and the western Great Lakes into the morning. And then will be followed by another storm. Severe thunderstorms will continue across the Midwest to the lower Great Lakes through tonight before bringing a round of freezing rain and sleet Friday morning across northern New England. So a lot of things going on, mainly up there inside of the north due to the winter weather, snow, sleet, ice. All of that's going on up there with them. And then also severe weather. Severe weather being a major concern for a lot of areas. Rather it be over there inside of Illinois where they have severe thunderstorm warnings going on right now. Illinois areas like Chicago, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, Fort Wayne, Grand Rapids, Detroit, St. Louis, Springfield, Illinois, all these areas having that risk of severe weather as you go into tonight. Now for tomorrow, there definitely is a bigger risk, mainly up there inside of northern Missouri going into like southern Iowa, St. Joseph, Missouri, going into, I think that's Indianola, Iowa. Hope I said that correctly. And then also Oklahoma City is included, Kansas City, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Dallas is included, going into Indianapolis, Ohio, and Columbus, Ohio. Cincinnati's included in there. Arlington, Texas, Fort Worth. I mean, just all these areas have a risk for severe weather as you go into tomorrow. And then day 3, Houston, Columbus, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and just a lot of these same areas are receiving severe weather by the time you get into day 3, which this is the 4th right here. So if you know anybody in these areas, let them know severe weather is coming for them or is possible for them wherever they are. And I think that's all I have to say here. Let's see, do I have anything else inside of the chat? Mr. Chris says, everyone please remember to stay safe and hydrated. Absolutely. Do I have anything in my email? Don't see anything here. If you want to send me an email, you can by sending it to scweather360@gmail.com, really just for pictures. scweather360@gmail.com, or if you have Twitter, you can just at me at 360_weather. That, and then also top fans. Top fans of the night for tonight. Continuing to be that battle between Mr. Chris and my Aunt Lula. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let me make sure real quick. 1, 2, 3. That is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, no, it was actually a tie. I thought it was 12. No, it's a tie. But my Aunt Lulu was here first tonight, so she gets the number 1. Mr. Chris at number 2. And then Trails at number 3. So congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans of the night for tonight. And that's all that I can say here for tonight. Again, make sure that if you have not hit the like button yet, going to do so. We are right now at around a good 11 people that have tuned in, only 8 likes. Also hit the subscribe button, 726, trying to get to that main goal of 800. Also, share with your friends, your family members, your acquaintances, and people that you don't even talk to, because it's free. It is free and it's unlimited. So you don't have to pay a dime, and I will not be taking a penny or anything from you. That's all. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow morning for your Friday morning forecast update. Also tomorrow evening for your Friday evening forecast update. I may make a short tomorrow. I probably will. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. And make sure you hit those 2 buttons before you leave if you're new.